Yeah, I found as I get older that I do have more of a selection, and I don't think that's so much a byproduct of me just getting older. Obviously, like I'm trying to level up in other areas of my life. There's continual improvement, so I get to a certain point. I'll bask in the glory. I'll celebrate my accomplishments for like a bit, and then all of a sudden I feel like a loser again. I'm like
Mm.
I feel just as down and downtrodden and motivated to step up to the next level as I did when I was just getting started years and years ago. So I think it's more of a byproduct of that. But I've also found that as you get older and you put in the reps, it's like when guys reach out for coaching calls, like, oh, what do I say to women? Good example. A guy asked me the other day, he's like, oh, what if a girl asks me if I'm a Trump supporter? I was like, well, there's three different responses. If you're new to the game, don't talk about politics at all. You don't have the experience to go ahead and manage and frame that conversation. If you're an intermediate, maybe do a little neutral, like, oh yeah, I realize it's a polarizing topic. I'm kind of in the middle. I really stay out of that stuff. I'm on my own game, doing my own thing. Trying to make my own dent in the universe, what have you. And then what I say is like, not only am I a Trump supporter, but I'm a registered member of the party, and I donate to the party. And the girls, like, their jaws usually drop, but you have to have that experience to get there. So I find that I think it's a byproduct of having more experience too in the dating market, knowing how to deal with these girls, and then also you stop pedestalizing them when you realize. I hate to say it, but we had this conversation in the generals chat the other day that a lot of women out there are losers, and
Yeah.
when you realize that you're the prize, then you don't really tolerate that kind of stuff. I had a girl over here the other day, and I went to the bathroom and I came out. She's on her phone, like doing these weird poses on this new couch I have behind me. Like, what are you doing? She's like, oh, I have to respond to my OnlyFans guys. I'm like, all right, let me see these guys, because I've dated OnlyFans girls before, and you can imagine what these guys are gonna look like. They're always fucking losers. It's so hilarious. But then it got to the point, like when it's time to go to the bedroom, she's like, oh, I'm kind of tired. I gave away all my sexual energy. I'm like, you just explained why you will never lock down a guy like me. And then we banged, and she was gone, and probably won't see her again, because I'm at the point where I want higher quality women in my life. Like, she's hot and all that stuff. Good on her. She makes money doing that. But it's just
Are there a
not
lot of
for
women in
guys like
Mexico
me anymore.
doing OnlyFans?
There's a lot of women that try doing it, but I think the market's saturated. Most of the ones I've dated, they don't make a lot of money unless they already have a following. So there's a girl I was dating here for a while. She was on like the Mexican equivalent to Survivor, like a reality show. So I think she had like 300, 400,000 followers already before she did OnlyFans, and she makes pretty good money. But as we've talked in the group, a lot of women are irresponsible with finances. So she was making about as much as I was when I had one corporate client. When I had like two or three or whatever, nowhere near it, because like Mexican income versus U.S. incomes, there's just such a large discrepancy. But even she got to the point making really good money based on Mexican standards, still asking me, oh, I need some help with my rent. Oh, I need help with this. I can't afford my car payment. I'm like, what are you doing with all this fucking money? Like, your guys are paying for everything. Like, where is this going?
Whatever happened to the notion that Mexican culture is very conservative? Fathers are still respected. Like, where are the fathers of these hoes doing OnlyFans?
Yeah, I think, like they have no fathers. Dad's not in the picture. That's pretty much the way I see it. And again, Mexico City is much more liberal than the rest of Mexico. So a lot of Mexico is still really traditional. But when you get the girls doing this, it's usually they come from broken homes. Dad's not around. Mom's kind of, on the promiscuous side. Like, you do have that class of people, and then you put the internet in front of them. And
So they're fun girls then.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I tell girls here, like, there's different categories you put girls in. Like, there's the non-sexual category, that's like your mom, your sister, your grandma, female coworkers, anything that could get you in legal trouble. They go in that, like, just non-sexual category. Your buddy's girlfriend, your brother's girlfriend, whatever. There's the fun girls, which like your OnlyFans girls fall into, and then there's the girls that like you actually take seriously. And sometimes it's hard to put them in the right category. You'll put a girl in like a potential serious category, and then things will start coming up. You're like, oh, you're just a fun girl, and if you screw that up, guys, you're going to have a very, very bad time.
Let me just table this topic. 50, did you want to chime in on that?
Yeah, I have extremely wide-ranging conversations with my girl, and the other side of taking the blue pill and ending up with broken women is, she's explained to me the amount of loser men out there, guys that can't handle things financially, guys that have anger issues, guys that have drink problems. And it's all because they took this blue pill, they got married, they settled down, they cranked out the kids, and then they have to deal with the emotional mess out the other side of it, and it leaves them in their 40s and 50s as another train wreck. Just like, that's, it's just, there's two sides to the coin of getting blue pilled and getting plugged in. You get messed up either end of it.
Yeah. I was going to table the notion of loser women. Moff, did you want to talk about that a little bit?
I was just going to chime in on Jaren's comment about like when chick asked him if he's a Trump supporter. Like 99% of the time, this stuff's just shit tests.
Yeah.
And guys, even guys that are red pilled, they fail it. He's like, well, like I'll just lie right now, and then maybe I'll, and it's her just trying to control you and say like, yeah, whatever, I am. Like I had a girl ask me recently, and it's funny because girls will throw a fit about it and like, oh, I don't think I can see you anymore. And you're like, all right, that's cool. And then like they're the ones hitting you up at 2 a.m. like, where are you? What are you doing? I had the same thing. The girl asked me about sports the other day. Like sports are huge where I am down in Florida. Really successful football and hockey team. And it's like an obsession. And so she's like, oh, like, do you like this? You like watching football? Like, no, I think sports are kind of gay. Like, I think grown men wearing like the jerseys of other grown men, like, I don't care about another dude's name. I care about my name. And she kind of like had this weird look. And I was like, yeah, it's kind of like that. So, most guys aren't willing to admit that though, and they can't, and they don't, because they don't want to lose that, even if they're red pilled guys. Like I still see it. But yeah, I just had a comment on that particular question.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that actually. The whole like, are you a Trump supporter? I wouldn't even answer yes or no. I would just say I'm pro mental point of origin. I'm pro masculinity. I'm pro family. I'm pro, strong, virtuous males having competency skills and, being influential and socially competent. Like those are the things that matter to me. I
think if you are fine.
I would just say,
like,
I don't care about
like,
politics.
Yeah, Trump fan, like that's my guy. Like totally fine. Like if you're kind of indifferent, like you and I are, then it's like, yeah, whatever, man. Like I don't sort of saddle myself with other people unless they,
So to the point of the whole sport thing, like, wearing another man's name on your jersey or sorry, wearing another man's name on your back or on a jersey is kind of a beta move. Like I did a video about it a few months ago. A lot of people liked it. Some people hated it. Oh, I watch sports. You're hurting my feelings, whatever. I don't give a shit. It's like the whole thing. Like, why would you simp for another guy? Right? Like, why would you simp for an athlete? Why would you simp for an actor? Why would you simp for a politician? Like, politicians are shit. I've yet to, like, I'm getting old now, right? Like, I've yet to, be able to sit down and be like, oh, this was a strong, virtuous, useful politician. Like, they're very few and far between, right? It's all about popularity. It's all about, like, Trump had his heyday, like, he had his chance. And in my opinion, he screwed it up, like, there was a lot of things that he could have done way better. And I don't think that he handled a lot of things well enough. And in some regards, he was a bit of a pussy, like there was things that, like the whole rioting thing, like I would have squashed that early on, like people throwing hissy fits and burning down cities. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like you let that happen in your own country, but you claim to love your country. Like, which is it? Hey guys, I really hope that you enjoyed that short clip. If you did, consider supporting the creation of content by checking out my supplement line. Pinned in the top comment below of this video in the comments, there's a link to the unpluggedalpha.com/shop. When you click through, you'll be able to land over here, and the entire lineup is broken down by category that it performs best in: estrogen metabolism, fat burning, your foundational essentials for health, immune health, performance, and testosterone support. If you check out with coupon code ALPHA10, you'll get 10% off on your first order. There's also the option to use the subscribe and save model, where regular shipments will be sent over to you on a regular basis, and that gives you a little bit of a discount, and your supplement facts are always broken down over here. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys have an awesome day. And again, check out that link. It's pinned in the top comment below in this video. Peace out.